Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is another film review. This one is Lasso, L-A-S-S-O. That's how you say it. I think it's always Lasso myself, but there you go. It's a suspense horror western. Came out in 2017. It's got rated 15. It's an hour and 37 minutes. Amazon is 3.5 out of 5 and IMDb is 4.8 out of 10. I'll actually read both synopses because they're completely different. So, IMDb is for 100 years, stories have been told about a cult near Hackett Ranch where people have been kidnapped and never found. The owners of the ranch say they know nothing about it. Guess where this year's rodeo is? And Amazon is when Kit and Simon take a group of senior citizens to a local ranch and rodeo, they're expecting a quiet day out, and that's what they get until they try to leave. A group of bloodthirsty cowboys are on the lookout for human livestock, and this rodeo is about to get far too real. Lasso is a sorry about that, my phone's just gone off. Lasso is a full-throttle horror where the Wild West gets wilder than it has ever been. So, one talks about some sort of cult, and the other doesn't. In my mind, the Amazon one is far, far more closer to it. I mean, I didn't even know there were a cult, to be brutally honest, until I read the IMDb. I was like, really? Pfft, not from what I saw. So the director is Evan Cecil, E-V-A-N-C-E-C-I-L, and he directed Wives with Knives, it's a series. Producers, there's 5 of them, so I've just picked 2. Evan Cecil again, and he also produced 42 Ways to Kill Hitler, and Elaine Marie Gibson, who produced Broken Windows. Music was by Alexis Grapsas, Grapsas, and he did the music for Monday. The cast, so we have Andrew Jacobs, who is Simon, who was in Wuthering High, Sean Patrick Flannery, who is Ennis, and who's in the Boondock Saints, Skylar Cooper, apparently can play male and female characters, who was Trish, and he was in the he was in the Grey Area, and Lindsay Morgan was Kit, and she was from The 100. So, like I say, if you're looking at the synopsis and you're kind of curious, I would say definitely look at the Amazon one because it doesn't match the IMDb. So before the credits even begin, so there's this woman waking up tied to a radiator, and I thought, hello, is it Saw? It wasn't, obviously, but we've no idea why. The credits appear and then we never see her again. It's like, okay. So Simon, who's Andrew Jacobs, kind of looks like he's a bit of a prat, you know, a bit of a, oh yeah, I can't be bothered doing any of this rubbish. And I was kind of thinking, oh, you know, here he goes. Everything is hard work, what am I bothering? I can't get a reception, oh my god, everything. So I was hoping he was going to change his attitude. So, obviously it's a rodeo. So we've seen a poor horse injure its leg. Of course it's only humane to shoot it. You know, it's like, well, if I broke my leg, would somebody come along and blow my brains out? I hope not. But it's a weird thing. I don't know why people do that. They always say it's humane for the animal. It's like, I'm pretty sure the animal would give you another reason for not doing it. So with this one, because I was watching late at night, I had the headphones on. The volume's up and down. Normally the volume can just be like stationary, but it's kind of like really quiet like this. Then, oh my god! So it's one of those ones that you have to kind of, you know, keep the volume control next to you. Now I saw the first death. It's pretty good actually, because it's obviously a horror. And then the busload of people, the geriatrics or whatever what they say in IMDb, in Amazon, they're not geriatrics, senior citizens. Sorry, they're all watching it from their bus. Apart from Simon. Simon's actually outside of the bus, watching this person getting killed, because he was looking for a hairbrush that one of the little old deers dropped. So he was looking at this hairbrush, and then they're all like oh my god, let's get the hell out of here, and then they just drive off, left him. It's just like, you sods. And they didn't even seem to notice he'd not even been there. They just drove off. So the deaths are like rodeo types. There was branding, lassoing, catching horses and cattle. It was quite ingenious the way that they were doing it. It wasn't just all, nutters, but it was quite enjoyable. It was keeping me entertained, if that makes sense, as a horror does. So, as I say, Kit, who was Lindsay Morgan, and all the other senior citizens sort of legged it on the bus, just drove off, right? Simon then stood up, and he saw all sorts. I mean, he was literally seeing so many deaths and murders and images and stuff like that. Fair play to him. But the others don't see that much, the seniors and stuff like that. But it's a really good film. And then, of course, I hear one of the quotes. So the guy who's Sean Patrick Flannery, who's got one arm at this point, is talking to Simon and says, "It ain't what you come into this life with; it's what you do with it, or what you choose to do with it, that counts." And I thought, yeah, that's actually quite a very useful thing. It's a critical stage of the film. I'm not going to tell you what. You can probably watch it from a trailer and figure out what part. Somebody actually died by a horseshoe. The horseshoes that the horses wear. Somebody died by that. I know it wasn't whacked over the back of the head. It was actually quite enjoyable. I thought, hell, I've never seen one of them before. Like that. That was definitely ingenious. And then a bit later on, Kit, who's finally sort of appeared again, yells for Simon but calls him David. I was like, okay, who's David? Because that's not even his real name. His real name's Andrew. So, like, David! I thought, what? And then I thought, have I been writing down the wrong person? Because I was scribbling all this down, and I was certain his name was Simon. Anyway, it's a good film. The deaths were good. Some acting was great. I mean, Simon, I thought was really good. He was the star of the film for me. There was other people. There was the ones I've basically given. Sean Patrick Flannery, who played Ennis with the one arm, he was good. I couldn't twig where he was from, and then when it came up Boondock Saints, when I was reading about it, I was like, oh, that's where I've seen him from. I love the Boondock Saints. Definitely watch it. Definitely. It's Irish, but it's a good film. Well, it's not Irish, it's American, but you know what I mean. And Skylar Cooper was Trish, and that was a good role as well. So basically it was them three against the world, and then there was Kit and the seniors sort of dottering about in the fields, not really doing much. In fact, they didn't do anything. So yeah, definitely Simon. I'm actually going to give it a 6, maybe even a 7. This is so weird for me. But I enjoyed every bit of it. It wasn't just senseless killings for nothing. There was a method that they were doing the killings for. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I've done this before where I've watched a film. I mean, this is a 4.8, and I've seen films that were like a 6 or a 7, and you're like, what the hell is this rubbish I've just watched? Whereas some of the low-rated films, I mean, this isn't that low, but I've seen some that are really low. I'm going to be watching one next week, which is I think it's a 2 point something, I don't know what it is. So I'm not holding out for it, but you never know, it might just sort of surprise me. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Lasso. I think it's Lasso, like I say, it's Lasso, so it's I don't know how you say it, because there's no oohs, there's an O, if that makes sense. Anyway, whatever. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of the film reviews. I mostly do game reviews and game let's plays and stuff, but I have got a full playlist going of film reviews, so you can watch those. Be warned, the first 2 or 3, I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, were more like a podcast, and then I sort of put in images and trailers and stuff, sort of give somebody something to actually, visualize as opposed to me just babbling on. Yeah, give me your thoughts if you like this video, leave a comment, in the comment box below if you've actually watched this film. You know, quite a few people have, but what I can gather. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.